I'd like to invite Dr. Wilks to the program to talk a little bit about Thomas from the perspective of the Thomas Andrew and Kathryn Dorsey Foundation.
Good afternoon. I'm Elon-Eloni Wilks, and I'm here to represent the Dorsey family on behalf of Kathryn Dorsey, who is now the wonderful age of 90, and also her son and son-in-law, one who is Thomas Dorsey, is an attorney, and he could not come. We spoke yesterday, was there both in 10. In fact, I drove from Michigan, Detroit, to the city of Chicago yesterday to pick Miss Dorsey up in her famous limousine and van, and so she got, what did you say, so excited about this whole event that she thought that I should come, and so I'm glad she got excited, because then I can get all excited by myself. Coming with me is Gloria, Wright, her goddaughter, who does all of the daily care and support. Gloria, would you come up front for a moment? Also, Mr. Ed Prowell, who works in the studio that we operate, and still carries on the music work of Tom Dorsey. Just as an added note, in Villa Rica, Georgia, the governor to the mayor here of this city of Richmond 10 years ago dedicated the highway from Atlanta, Georgia to Villa Rica, and we had the privilege of being there. So the highway is called the Georgia Tom Highway, if you didn't know that. And about 30 years ago, with Oliver McGrone, the most wonderful sculptor, we had an opportunity to do a sculptural piece of the bust of Thomas A. Dorsey, which is now housed in Fisk University. And we initiated a music movement so that annually young men and women who want to study not only the blues, the jazz and whatever, and the gospel, can now study at Fisk University. So that is an honor. So Kathryn Dorsey, 2 years ago, initiated through us the Thomas and Andrew Kathryn Dorsey Foundation. We give scholarships for music annually. So the Dorsey legend lives on. That's our contribution. Personally, Gloria, I don't know if she wants to sing for you, was one of the little girls that was in the choir at Pilgrim Baptist Church, and now she's still here carrying on. Gloria, you want to have her say a word about the early days that you had working with Tom Dorsey when you were just a kid, 2 or 3 years old. Gloria?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gloria. I am Dr. Dorsey's goddaughter. He adopted me at Pilgrim Baptist Church at 3301 South Indiana in Chicago, Illinois, at the very tender age of 7 years old. And he immediately started me to sing in his music, which I hated to do because I didn't like to get up in front of people like I am now. And he stood me on a milk crate and he said, "Sing." And I proceeded to do so simply because I was afraid of what he would do to me afterwards if I didn't. But I've been with he and his wife through the years. They've become like second parents to me. And I loved him, and I love his wife, Mrs. Dorsey, and I'm honored today to be here in your presence for all of the honorees, for all of the endeavors. Thank you.
At the tender age of 12 years old, I met Thomas Andrew Dorsey in the city of St. Louis. And guess what I was doing? I was standing on a stage, and I was in a scholarship contest. So I was one of the contestants. And from that day, I didn't have a mother and father who supported me. I was able to get a scholarship to go to college. So my doctoral degree today in the area of education, science, and music, and we do have a studio, recording studio in Michigan from the great state, Senator, where Jennifer Granholm is the governor. You heard of Jenny, have you? All right. So we carry on the music legacy there, and for 35 years I worked closely with Dr. Dorsey and his music. So I said to Mrs. Dorsey, and also to our friends here, that there is something we need to give back. And so guess what Mrs. Kathryn Dorsey wants to do for the Gennett Foundation? Dr. Fulton, would you come forward? We have brought 1,000 copies of the original works of Thomas A. Dorsey with all his songs of his gospel, these books that you can do with it whatever you will. You can have a fundraiser, you can have an auction, you can sell me a couple of copies and I'll buy some. But the original copies we have brought, and we have them in the van, the Thomas A. Dorsey van. We also have the copies of Precious Lord, Take My Hand. These are the originals These were not reprints. We have the original copies from 1937 for you to use for whatever fundraisers that you want to use in behalf of the Dorsey legacy. And also the one song, we have copies of these, 500 copies I brought, of My Desire. Now, My Desire was a song that Tom Dorsey wrote when he had the pleasure of being married to his beautiful wife, Kathryn, for 15 years. And so it's his desire that you continue this legacy. We want to thank the Gennett Starr family for all 55 of you and all the rest of you who have done so much. We are here working together. You consider us part of the family. It's our desire to continue the great work, and you do with it what you will. And before I leave here, we want to give you all that music, because I can't take it back. Thank you, and God bless you. God bless you, and I love you too. Thank you so very much.
Well, this has become a profitable event too. So, thank you very much, Dr. Wilks, for that. I really appreciate it.